You know that question that's been stuck in all of our heads for years. How did Ben 10 start? How did it end? And why did it resonate with us so deeply? When you slipped that green watch onto your wrist as a kid and looked at yourself in the mirror, you were actually becoming part of a legend without even realizing it. Today, I'm not just going to tell you the history of Ben 10. I'm going to tell you about the hidden details within that history, the design choices most people miss, and those breaking points in the series. If you're ready, let's begin. First, I need to ask you something. Did you discover Cartoon Network for the first time thanks to an older relative, or did you stumble upon it completely by chance? Personally, when I turned on the TV one day and saw that unfamiliar dark background and those fast-paced action scenes, something inside me said, wait, this is different. That feeling, it's indescribable, and that exact feeling was what kept me hooked on this series for years. But let's look at where it all started. Cartoon Network was founded in 1993 under Warner Brothers. In the beginning, it was a premium service, meaning you had to pay for all the content. But after a while, the channel became completely free, and right here is where things started getting interesting. Free broadcasting made the audience explode. The audience explosion created a need for more content, and that need for more content brought a project to life that would one day deeply affect you and me. That project was Ben 10. So where did Ben 10 come from? Here's a detail most people don't know. There was a group called Man of Action. They wrote comic books, designed characters, and built their own fictional universes. When Cartoon Network found them, this group already had a massive project on their table that they'd been working on for almost 3 years. Think about that, 3 years. While I'm losing half my brain cells trying to finish a university assignment in 2 weeks, these guys built a universe from scratch for 3 whole years. And when Cartoon Network knocked on their door, Man of Action put that project on the table. Cartoon Network saw it, liked it, and said, let's take this to broadcast. That project, of course, was Ben 10. Before we continue with the video, I know you hate ads, I hate them too, but I would be so happy if you could support me by liking the video and subscribing so our channel can reach 1,000 subscribers. Now, let's get back to the video. But I have to ask you, have you ever wondered what the originally designed Ben looked like? Because when I researched this, my jaw literally dropped and I thought, wait, is this Ben 10? In the first version, Ben's hair was red. Red. He wore an orange t-shirt and green shorts. We always associated Ben 10 with that green jacket and that unique design with the black stripes, but that wasn't there at the beginning. And the Omnitrix, that watch that looks like alien technology, at first it looked like an ordinary wristwatch, a simple design far from the alien aesthetic. When I learned this, I got a weird feeling inside. I almost said, man, thank goodness they changed it, but at the same time, I also wondered what kind of series would a red-haired Ben have been. Then there's the issue of the alien design. When you examine the initial concept art, you can see that the transformation aliens weren't the completely foreign, exotic creatures they are today. They were beings that look closer to humans, more ordinary. Literally just a slightly weird human aesthetic. Now imagine this. 4 arms, but human size and almost normal looking. He doesn't have that iconic massive body. Just imagining that gives me the chills because 4 arms holds a special place for me. According to research, he was actually the first alien they tested. The creators of the series always kept 4 arms special and saw him differently from the rest. When I learned this, I understood better why things felt the way they did. Anyway, after all this development process, the first season premiered on the 27th of December 2005. And do you know what happened? An explosion. An absolute explosion. It spread by word of mouth. It leaped from country to country. Then came the other seasons of the classic series. The second season in May 2006. The third season in December 2006. And the final season in July 2007. So the classic series was genuinely a short but intense sprint. And at the end of that sprint, most of us were crying at the screen saying, no, don't end. But of course, it didn't end. In April 2008, Ben 10, Alien Force arrived, and this was a very bold shift. Think about this. Taking an animation you love, making it darker, grittier, and reshaping it to appeal to a teenage audience is a really huge risk. Not everyone can pull that off, but Alien Force succeeded. The atmosphere had changed, the characters had grown up, the stories had gotten heavier, and this change, far from upsetting the child fans, actually brought a whole new audience to the series. I remember that era. I initially approached it with a bit of distance, thinking, well, they've grown up now, this is something different. But after the first few episodes, I got swept up in that dark theme too. Alien Force ended its run in 2010 after 2 seasons and 2 years. And exactly 1 month later, barely taking a breath, Ultimate Alien came out. This series has a special place in my heart. The idea of seeing the ultimate versions of the aliens was an incredible concept for my childhood mind. The idea of an even stronger version of something that's already strong, who could say no to that? Ultimate Alien also lasted about 2 years and closed with a grand finale in March 2012. If you ask me, this series is one of the true peak points of the Ben 10 universe. Darker characters, heavier events, upgraded aliens. That series, where all of these were woven together, truly left its mark on that era. And then that moment came, the 22nd of October, 2012, Ben 10 Omniverse premiered. Now, I understand the people who are against Omniverse. As someone who grew out of that dark, deep atmosphere of the previous series, when I watched the first few episodes of this show, I felt like something had snapped. The art style had changed, and on top of that, it looked much simpler compared to the previous ones. Prominent characters like Grandpa Max or Gwen were replaced by someone I didn't know at all, named Rook, and this character didn't spark anything in me. I'll confess, I couldn't watch Omniverse from start to finish back then, though of course it's one of my favorite series now. I turned it off after a few episodes, then I tried again and turned it off again. However, I also need to add this. Omniverse produced exactly 8 seasons and 80 episodes from 2012 to 2014. That's not a small number. And the vast majority of viewers say it really opens up in the later episodes. If you make it to the finale, you don't regret it. In November 2014, Omniverse aired its finale, and an old hope sprouted inside me. Now we wait, I said. Something good is going to come this time. I waited. I kept waiting. On the 1st of October 2016, the new series was released, and the reboot, an absolute fresh start that hid nothing and shelved all the deep lore. A structure with a pastel tone visual style appealing to a much younger age group. I really remember that moment. I can't describe that what is happening feeling. I don't know if it was anger, sadness, or just exhaustion, but I have to say this too. This series really worked for the new generation of little kids. It wasn't a bad series for them. The problem is here, we were no longer those kids. And this time, that was the audience the producers were targeting. The reboot had its finale in 2020, and since that day, meaning we are now in the year 2026, there hasn't been a new Ben 10 production 6 years. There has never been a gap this long before. So when will it return? Will it be an animated series, an animated movie, maybe live action? I don't know any of that, but I do know this universe isn't exhausted yet. A universe born from 3 years of hard work by Man of Action doesn't just fade away that easily. And maybe right now, someone just like you is at home researching things, rewatching old episodes, trying to understand why Forearms feels so special. That feeling is proof that this universe is still alive. I'm coming to the end, but before I sign off, I want to ask you this. Which moment in this history of Ben 10 was the most important for you? Was it the classic series, that first dark moment of Alien Force, or the grand finale of Ultimate? Write it in the comments. I'm really curious. If you love these kinds of lore analyses, detailed animation histories, and discovering those hidden corners that no one talks about, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. If you want to watch the video where I compared the completed Omnitrix and the Ultimatrix, you can click the video on screen. See you there.